Hi, welcome back. In this module, we're going to be looking at some of the advanced features of SAS over and above the ones that we learned in the previous module. So in this module, we're going to start off by looking at how we can perform mathematical calculations in our SAS file. So we'll take a look at the basic arithmetic operators such as multiplication and subtraction and division, and we'll also see that in some cases we need to make it explicit to SAS when we're using the division operator. Next, we'll learn how to use parent selectors inside nested rules. So for example, when we're creating pseudo classes such as visited. We'll learn how we can use lists in SAS. So we'll see how we can define lists using either space or comma delimited values, and also some of the list functions that enable us to work with lists once we've defined them. We'll see how we can create mixins that allow the callers to pass actual content into them. So we'll see how we can pass properties into a content-enabled mixin, and also how we can combine this content approach with media query mixins. Next, we'll look at how we can specify that a mixin parameter is allowed to accept a variable number of arguments. So this is similar to the params keyword in C#. We'll learn about the color functions available to us when we're working with color variables in SAS. So we'll see how we can define a color variable once and how we can create a whole set of color schemes from this one variable using some of the SAS functions, such as lighten and darken, and how we can mix two colors together. We'll learn about implementing conditional if logic in SAS, and for example how we can use it inside a mixin to ensure that a parameter value that's passed to it meets a minimum value. We'll learn how to implement loops in SAS. So these could be counter-based for loops, as we'd use in C#, or list-based for each loops. We'll learn when we're using inheritance how we can tell SAS to not actually output the base class that we're basing our style on. So in this way we can reduce some of the CSS clutter that gets generated if we're not actually using that base style in our HTML. And finally, we'll look at nested properties. So this is a shorthand way for outputting namespace properties. So this could be something such as the font properties, so font family, font weight, and font style.